معكم دكتور المهدي الخماس. I'm Professor Emeritus in the Department of Surgery, Division of Transplantation, Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio. أيها الإخوة والأخوات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بالنيابة عن مجلس كلية الطب بسبراتة وعن المدير العام بمركز الاستشاري الطبي، أود أن أرحب بكم في افتتاح هذا النشاط العلمي. اليوم المحاضرة الأولى في سلسلة المحاضرات الشهرية إن شاء الله. هذه السلسلة ستحتوي على محاضرات عامة في مجال الصحة ومحاضرات عامة في مجال الإدارة الصحية وغيرها. اليوم تم اختيار الدكتورة عائشة ناصف أستاذة طب المختبرات ورئيس المجلس العلمي لطب المختبرات بمجلس التخصصات الصحية الليبي، بتعطينا إن شاء الله محاضرة في عامة، يعني في ثقافة المؤسسة أو organization culture. What does it mean؟ يعني ماذا تعني and how we build it. وبعدها إن شاء الله نفتتح نقاش للجميع. فمرحبا بكم مرة أخرى وبارك الله فيكم على وجودكم. دكتورة عائشة تفضلي، المايك معك.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
شكرا بروفيسور مهدي، عده على الكلمة، ممتنة لحضرتك وعلى اختياري. حقيقة الموضوع ضروري. أيضا شكر موصول لكلية الطب في صبراتة ولمركز الاستشاري. شكرا جزيلا على الحضور الكريم. حقيقة اليوم هي ما نقدروش نقوله هو توك، هو عملية raising awareness about a very important topic اللي هو organization culture. عائشة ناصف، أنا رئيسة المجلس العلمي لطب المختبرات في مجلس التخصصات الطبية.
Are you sharing your screen or not?
Yes. هنستمر. co-founder للأسوسيشن of Medical Education in Libya. أمل، يشرفني حضوري معكم. وحقيقة النصف الأخير حيكون آراء وفيدباك وبالعكس raising awareness for all of us. بسم الله نبدأ محاضرة اليوم. Today we will our talk is encompass defining organizational culture. Then we will identify different factors intervene for an development of organizational culture. Then we will know different types and impact of organizational culture in the organization performance. Then we will list the steps for developing a healthy and quality organizational culture. Then we will end by our conclusion and welcoming your opinion, ideas, feedback, and suggestion. Before we start organizational culture, maybe we need to define the culture. Simply, culture, it is how we are, characteristic or features of everyday existing of a particular society. How their beliefs, their customs, their arts, their meals, their way of life. We can say it is the experience which shape our beliefs. And with different culture, we will have different beliefs. And different beliefs will result in different behavior, and different behavior will lead to different results. So from this definition or brief background, we can realize or sense the importance of different culture in shaping our life and in the result we achieve. Culture, it's how we are doing things, or according to Aristotle, we are what we are repeatedly do. We can say simply that culture is the behavioral output of that society or that one. For example, how we greet each other, our social tradition, how we are making our decision, our ethical conduct, all these are shaped by the culture we are in it. The organization usually is composed of many peoples or employees. Each one is coming from different culture. I mean, even for example, in Libyan culture, we have a different culture in different cities. And in each city, we have different culture according to the region. And in each region, we have different culture according to the social and economic status and educational background. All these employees are coming to work together, and they will bring with them different culture, different way of thinking, different knowledge, and different experience. And this experience, as we said, it will lead to different beliefs and different actions and different results. So to define organizational culture, we can say it's the operating system or the collection of unwritten rules and habits and the mindset of the employees. These all together will dictate how work gets done. So the organization culture will drive the organization result. How organization culture developed? This is the second part of our talk. It devolved from interaction of the employees with different cultures, their values, their different beliefs will interact together to bring the norms. Norms هي الأنماط أو طريقة التعامل أو السلوكيات. We will go further to know what means by values, beliefs, and norms. Values, it's everything that have value or worthy. Beliefs, it's our assumption or معتقدات, what's correct, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. These values and beliefs of these different employees, they are so different, will interact with the structure of that organization. Structure here, we mean the facility, the building itself, and by organogram, for example, and even the supplies and consumable, everything. This is structure. Then the system, it's how we are taking decision, or the procedure we follow, the policy we do, everything. This is a system in that organization. Interaction of that structure with the system, with the employees' values and beliefs will result all these together in the norms, السلوكيات، الأعراف، الأنماط في التعامل أو في conduct of these employees in that organization. We can say organizational culture is the personality or public perception of that organization. If we want to identify what's organizational culture, we can say it's a set of shared values and beliefs that interact with an organization structure and system that produce the norms or a way of behavior. So now we will start by defining value a little bit deeper. Value, it's something which is important, worthy, or useful of something. Of course, something which are very, very valuable for me, it's not important for other. And we can imagine for an organization with 100 employees or 1,000, how this could impact a perception of value thing or not. For example, some people have very, they value their time so much. Others know it's the money. Others neither. Another thing, the fun. It's very different, and it's depending on our culture. We brought our value from that culture. In Silicon Valley, they say value, it's our things, how we are behaving, what we are doing, what they think they are the most worthy. To find our core value, you can just by assessing or reflection on some organization, you can at least define what are their core value. For example, it's 3 B's. The people they hire or they fire, how they treat each other. If they value, for example, quality work, they will hire good people, qualified people. If they value being untrusty, doing something from behind, they will fire the honest people or they will neglect them. how they treat each other. All this will be seen from looking at the organization, how they perform with their employees. Product for here, for example, in education and health services, it's service, not product, unless we consider the doctors or the graduates are product. How we respond to threats and opportunities. For example, if you are, this is, I like to say this, in 2024, they say this is the last year for the Libyan universities to be accredited or recognized. So everybody worked since 2022 to preserve this Libyan institute. This is meaning that we are caring, that we value our institute. How we treat our customers. We were so careful and thoughtful about the future of the graduate of Libyan universities. The third one, the process. For example, how we take a decision. If we value transparency or value sharing or communication with our employees, then the decision will be taken by sharing the topic and discussing, brainstorming, and taking the decision. If we are valuing quality, we will measure progress each time, and it is evidence-based, not saying that we are doing well, how we are doing well. You should have indicators and you should measure your progress. If you are, we value integrity, we should hold people accountable for their actions, and so on. Value, it's not an instruction book that we can follow. For example, you open, I will choose this and this and make a package of it. It is depending on many things, but the most important, whatever value you select in this organization, you have to articulate. This is, I mean by the leaders of this organization or institute. Articulate meaning communicate and specify your values. Then you have to live it. If anyone say we want quality in our institute, but you are doing the opposite, this is, you are not living your values. So for example, if you are saying that one of our values is respect, or for example, communication, living your values means if you value respect, you will be humble, even for the new student in your university or in the faculty, because this is a respect, or even for the cleaners or anybody. If you value communication, you will connect with others, you will communicate why you are doing that to make them knowledgeable and know that you are caring about them and you are transparent to them. The values should be heard in the whole way, should be there in decision making. If you are value, for example, whatever, you are valuing the quality of our graduate, what the decision you are taking. And the value will be known even externally, and even it will be known in the hallways of your institute. Values usually, by research done in 2002, they say there is each company or institute or organization will have from 3 to 6 core values. And usually there is, and maybe it's not the time to say, talk about this, how you are choosing your values. There is steps to choose your values. The most important for them, I find this very interesting. They say if you think that you are value something, this means that you will not change it, even if it's become uncompetitive advantages for you. And this is very important. This you are really in this thing or not. But sometimes you have to change this value. And we will know some example maybe later. Now we finish with the value. It is the worthy thing we value, and It's the thing, our things. Now, what's the organizational belief? This is the second part which play a role in developing an organizational culture. Belief is this assumption about what is true, what's good, what's bad. And this is very different in each person or in each employee or in each department in that organization. Beliefs will dictate your thoughts, your actions, and your result. An example of beliefs, quality work will be rewarded. This is maybe my belief, but others know in the same organization. If I having this belief, maybe a little bit, can anybody share an example? Any volunteer? If you believe that quality work will be rewarded, give me an example of this. If this is your belief, what's your thought, your action, and your result? And I need another one who he doesn't believe in this. He thinks that quality work will not be rewarded in this institution or in this organization. Anyone can share his thought?
دكتورة عايشة will be probably difficult لأن احنا الثيم بتاع المؤسسة ناقص شوية، لكن ممكن نعطيك example still in the works. يعني لاحظنا أن المرضى بعض الأحيان يعني الممرضات مش متعودين أن يساعدوهم يقلبوهم من جانب إلى جانب باش ما يقعدوش على نفس المكان ويجيهم بريشر سور. بتبدأ بالثقافة هذه ولكن لاحظنا الأسبوع الماضي أن أحد الممرضات أول ما تكلمنا عليها بتدير فيها بروح. This is يعني value of equality. It should be rewarded and it's in the process. I'm thinking يعني my thoughts and if this nurse is rewarded, I think the result will be other nurses will imitate her and will start doing the work on their own before even their turn of training. Yeah.
Exactly. This is a very important thing. Yes, you are right, Doctor. But I mean,
I can give you an example, دكتورة عائشة مع
نعم
السريع. أنا
تفضل.
أول لما مشيت لسنغافورة في 99 كنت senior registrar. And my salary was about $6,000 sorry, 6,000 Singapore dollars, which is divided by 2, give you US dollars, about 3,000 US dollars. Within 1 year, I was promoted to a consultant and associate professor with a salary more than 12,000 US dollars. All of a sudden, from 3 to 12. From there onward, and for so many years to come in Singapore, I really worked very hard because I knew that everything I did in that place was definitely rewarded. Thank you.
Very excellent example. Really, it's an excellent example. The opposite is true. If, for example, I'm working hard and I'm doing my best in that institution and they just ignore it or they take my work and give us to another one to present it, how I will continue to work in this organization? It's
not just the organization, it's the system as well. In Libya, you cannot within 12 months promote one SR to consultant, give him associate professor status and triple or quadruple his salary just like that. The system doesn't allow you to do that. Thank you.
Yes, but at least you can reward it by another way. Not this about salary or promotion, but still you can reward. The example he said, Dr. Mahdi, and maybe later we will approach it. If we're thinking that promotion are based on merit, so I will really work hard, so I will get promoted. But if, for example, I know that promotion is for the connection, for the relative, for wasta, for militia, for whatever, I will not do that. So it's very important, the beliefs we have, how it will act in our final work or result. Then we know value, we know what's beliefs. the interaction of both of these with the structure and with the system, as you say, Dr. Rida, the system is very important also to play a very big part. But even the smaller system in that institution, I mean, or not on the country at all. What's norms? Norms are the standard of expected behavior. And this is, if we reflect on these sentences, really it will guide every action from our part. If I know that my proposals to improve the health services or the education, it's ignored by the leaders or the decision makers, I will do the first one, the second one, the third one, but ultimately there is a point that I will still do that. I should stop if I'm really a wise person, because everyone is just ignored and no result I see. So the norms are the standard of expected behavior or established way of doing things that are developed in the job. Norms flow largely from the value and beliefs. If I value in the quality of our graduate, I will do everything to support him, to have a good curriculum, to have good assessment, to have a good training, to have a good everything. If it's the opposite, I will not care. The example of norms, for example, if we are disagreed tactfully, what's the value behind this? Usually there is either the value of the person himself. I found this person is worthy and I respect him, so I will disagree with him tactfully. Or I value the collaboration, so I have to disagree in this way. For example, instead of saying you are wrong, you can just say, I see it differently. And here's why. It is the same thing you deliver, the same message, but we do it in respecting the others. There is empathy, there is kindness, but the result, it is the same. Another thing, for example, if I believe or I value an interdependence, that no one could work alone, and the community needs collaboration and the input and the innovation from different employees, then we will share information and helping one another, because the summation of 2 people or 3 people is not 3, it's maybe 10 or 20. If I believe in this, I will behave in this way. In our Islamic culture, if I believe in rizqi lan ya'khudhahu ghayri, I will share the information. If I believe in al-ilm sadaqa jariyah, I will share every single tips I know. So everything is coming from the value. Your action will be driven from that value. By Edgar, he says the culture, there is 3 levels. The one that's hidden, that you don't know, it's belief, it's unaware. We are not aware about it. Deeply held assumptions. And one of it, I think, for example, I don't know, in Libyan culture, we are a little bit very difficult culture to diagnose, because sometimes we are underestimating ourselves. We don't have a confidence. In the same way, we are ignorant and we think we are the best in the world. So we are moving very fast between these 2 ends, or maybe there is different population. I don't know, but really it's difficult. The value, the thing we communicate and we show. For example, we know, he valued the time. I will not take long time in talking to him. The artifact, who visible behavior, you can see. So the behavior, you can say, is the thing which reflect values and beliefs. So in summary, you can say organizational culture, to define, it mirrors the way things are done around here. But وأعتقد إن this is a very clear. You go to an institution, organization, you show a caring of the employees, welcoming, guiding you, doing their job, how they talk with each other, everything you can see. Just you're stepping there and you can notes and making a checklist and just making your job. So our beliefs, will dictate our thoughts, feeling, words, action, habits. And finally, it's our values and destiny. So what is a positive organizational culture? We can't say that something lead to the other, but there is two important things that you can see in a positive organizational culture. There is communication across teams, and there is fostering collaboration. This is very important. These two, another thing is you will find the employees uphold the organizational standards and value. They have standard and value, and every one of these employees are working according to this value and standard. So you will find there is support, there is ethical conduct, there is social responsibility, promotion of creativity, orientation on the customers, and encouraging employees to challenge the status quo. And of course, ultimately, the result, the employees, they will be motivated, they will be loyal to this institute organization, and there is retention of the employees. If it is, we can say in summary, it's 4 C's. This is my summary, but everyone can do it just to summarize. C4, collaboration, communication, compassion, and customer focused, and smart, supportive, maybe Dr. Al-Mahdi, no blame. It's supportive, there is no blame. Well, altogether, it's a learning institute. We can say, or are we a learning institute from our faults, our errors, or whatever? Mission driven, I can say there is motivation. If you have a mission and you go, there is motivation. Ethical, respectful, and transparent. If these, of course, I will not forget that always reflect thinking customers, internal and external. Internal, for example, in our institute, whatever, in this hospital, it's the doctors. External, it's the patient. The negative organizational culture, you will not find these, but in a different way, maybe all, maybe part of them. The most important finding in the negative organizational culture, the values and norms are not clearly defined. This is very important. For example, here in Libya, we make a strategic plan and we'll start by vision. Do you know that the vision is done only by the leader? Okay, the vision, it can be at least 1 or 2, but maybe 1 a leader. But if you don't discuss with your leadership team, if it's not all the employees participate in this, you are just making a draft for the quality or for accreditation or audit, whatever, but it is not a real values and norms for that institution. What's making a very bad impact that each organization is performing according to the worst behavior of their leadership. Why? I think, I don't know, but this is my personal opinion, because if you see the leader acting in this way, he's like if he's giving you the permission to do it. I think this is the reason, but maybe your contribution will add something. So what's the type of organizational culture? There is Hofstede, he's a Dutch psychologist. He said that the organizational culture is influenced and impacted by the system, political system, social, economic, whatever in that country. To make it easier, I will go from this, I will go to the second. He found that we can find 6 types of organization culture. For example, is this institute is concentrated in the process or in the goals, العمليات أو النتيجة. I think in Libya we are just concentrating sometimes in the operation, bureaucracy, doing papers, doing, for example, الفساد اللي عندنا، وعندنا مراقب مالي وعندنا خزينة وعندنا مراجع وعندنا ما حد يصرف، ليش في فساد؟ The process is amazing, very complicated, والنتيجة 0. So is it a process or goal oriented? Is it depend on parochial versus professional. المؤهلين والله المعرفة والعلاقات الاجتماعية والقرابة. Open system versus closed system. Are we welcoming creative new people with different culture, or we need the safe people who will say yes, do what you want as in this organization? Is it employees oriented or job oriented? Is it tighter or loose control؟ في ضبط وربط والله عادي كل واحد ياخذ راحته. فيه الانتهازية أو النفعية, a pragmatic in a good way, in how you can use any opportunity or any window to benefit your organization, or they don't care. The most important to go with the laws, with regulation, with whatever. This is the type of organizational culture. To make it easier, how the leaders can select an organizational culture. They are good leaders. They are for example, focusing on the result, and they have a good values. The leaders for an organization, they have 4 choices as a summary. This is a work where they pull all different types. There are more than 6 usually. They found in measure there are 4 types. They are moving from flexibility up here to the stability down, and to the right, external factors, and here the internal focus or external focus. For example, here, if we are flexible and we are focusing in our employees, it's clan, العشيرة. Here, they just concentrate on coaching new arrival, new people, new employees. They are mentoring. They have team integration, and it's a very good culture. The people they can learn with enjoyment. The next one is adhocracy. Here, they concentrate on innovation. Each employees have the authority to manage himself. He's empowered. He has the ownership to help this organization to move forward. And later we'll discuss each one, which I think is the best and why.
دكتور عائشة،
نعم دكتور.
بعد ما تكملي السلايد هذه في كلمة نبي نترجمها المجموعة، ما أظنش they are familiar with it، اللي هي الأدهوقراطية هذه، فبعد ما تكملي السلايد بس
اوكي ان شاء الله.
ترجمة عربية.
strict control في الهيراركي اللي هو for process and procedure, value of doing things right, stability and efficiency. And it's also good here they are focusing in the result and the authority and the hierarchy. The last one here, the market share, they are focusing on result, competition, how to thrive under pressure. And here the question maybe divide. Is it okay to have different subcultures in the same institute? I think this is my opinion, yes. And when I searched, I found this, it can be in different departments according to your goals. But at least someone will be the dominant. And this is someone for discussion. I'm not an expert for organizational culture. We are just uploading a subject together to trying to cultivate a good organizational culture in Libya. And we will know why it's important. Here, for example, in this way for innovation and ownership, it's Google. They value innovation and ownership just, for example, they have something called 20% time. Each employee in Google have the ability to use the 1/5 or 20% of his time to work in his personal project. Because if you work in personal project, you will benefit from this. And this is the cause why they have a Google Map, why they have Gmails. These are all innovation by this personal 20% time. In market share, it's Amazon. They really value having all customers in long term, and they don't value short-term benefit. And here, I think they having slogan like customers, I think obsession. the most important thing for Amazon that the customers are, their needs are done. So what's the impact of organizational culture? The organizational culture, it is important determinant. They say it's the soul, it's the driving factor for success. In fact, it can help in employees' commitment. If you have a good culture, you feel safe, respected, transparency, communication, you have the same values applied for all. So you can help in goal attainment, in time saving, in decision making, also in communication. And the most important, I think this is what you notice when you are working abroad. There is a purpose of work. There is no sign of arrival. I don't know. In France, it's like this. I don't know in America or others. In France, they don't care if you sign when you are coming or you are going. And it's very simple, but no one is absent. No one. No one is even looking at you if you are here or no. And this is what's important. There is purpose of work. In fact, organizational culture, it's how we work together and how we trust each other and how you get our work done, or we get our work done. And this is simple, but this is very hard to realize, how we work together and trusting and get the work done. All these will help in decision making. It will satisfy the customer internally and externally, and it will affect the hiring and retention of our employees. How we can develop the organizational culture? I think there's 8 very logical steps, and I think the most important, the vital, the most difficult, it's how we can establish trust. And this is the job of the leader. After that, we will determine the current culture by careful observation. We will define the desired culture. We will set clear expectation. We will measure the goals, and we will recognize, and this is the one you spoke about it, Dr. Mahdi, the reward, how it's important in building this culture, develop employees and engage them. So how we can develop trust? This is the leader's role. If anyone can define what's leadership, what's meaning leadership, or what are the most important job of a leader? Just one word or two. Any volunteer? Are you sharing?
Enabler.
What?
Enabler.
Enabler. Okay. Enabler. Okay. This is good. Dr. Mahdi, others, please. Can anyone from our...
لا هذه دكتور رضا. لا دكتور رضا، أنا بنقول أن الليدر يعني هو خليك ديري الأشياء. هو there is a good leader, there is even a greatest leader. يعني الجود leader هذا خليك ديري الأشياء اللي يجب أنك أنت تديريها.
اوكي.
والجريتست ليدر يعني تديري الأشياء اللي لا الواجب واحد هي خلينا نقول في واحدة بس، أن يحثك يعطيك الموتيفيشن أنك أنت تديري you accomplish or you'll be in the position where you ought to be. هذا الليدر بدون ما يكون عنده يعني السيطرة عليك أنه هو يخصم منك ولا يخاصمك في الغياب. لا، هو بس with his own behavior and his own motivation makes you.
And I like this, that what it is the difference between great and greatest leaders. One who enable you to do the things you are good in it, and the greatest that you are doing the things that you don't even dream that you will do it. You are doing. The function or the most important job of a leader, it's both of you, it's the social influences. He's just pointing the direction. He gives you the vision. He makes you dream to achieve this thing. So the leader, a first thing to gain trust, he should communicate a culture, encourage teamwork. He should show to the employees the impact of their work and the value of their contribution. They should understand this very clear. And he should be a model. And that's why المؤسسة تعمل طبقا لأسوأ خلق لمديرها. He should support the employees and take their engagement as the most serious thing. They should be engaged and work for this. After that, after analyzing the current culture, and this is by foster and opening communication, honest and create channels for honest feedback, encouraging dialogue, listen actively, then we will decide how should we do things around here. And from this point, we will decide the future or culture for this organization. To do that, it seems to be complicated, but I don't think so if you just look, for example, here. First, start by the importance of the organizational culture. If the employees realize that the organizational culture, it's the driven factor for the success. It's the driven factor of satisfaction, of feeling happy, of enjoying, of creativity, of many good things. After that, we will decide that when they will, the next step to diagnose the current culture. And they will see in each culture what is the pros and cons. And most of people, I think here, maybe there's a question later, and I hope each one from the respectful attendee to share their opinion about which culture in Libya you think from these 6 models. Maybe I will give a slide later and you just share. After these 2 steps, the third one, you have to decide what's your goals. What's your strategic plan? From this, your goals and strategic plan, it will be aligned to the culture. And here I am talking about the 4 models: adhocracy, market, clan, or authoritative. You will decide which one, and at least most of it will go there. It's not an easy topic, but it's very interesting, really topic, and we should really work this year all over Libya just to raise awareness about the importance of organizational culture. So then we will define the ideal culture. We will set clear expectation. We will measure performance and give feedback frequently, be evidence-based, our work, recognize and reward good work. When you have a good behavior, you should reward it. Then the most important is continuous learning, maybe global mobility, maybe preparing your employees for increased responsibility. We should have one-on-one meeting, and this is very good in American culture. I have a relative, he is working with American. It's weekly one-on-one meeting for the people how they want to promote in their leadership or for a future responsibility. Then you have to focus on employees' engagement. And I think this is the most deficient and the worst thing in Libyan culture. There is no employees' engagement at all. The leader, he doesn't care, or when the leader care, the system and the culture is not helping him. Employees' engagement is the cornerstone for a positive workplace. The manager has an important role to make his employees happy and involved. So from the next, maybe future, you should make your employees happy. This should be said to the leader. He should think about the employees. They are not just there to complete his role. There should be an effective engagement and understanding of the individual. Now, we established the culture. Now, the second step, how to develop a healthy and quality organizational culture. The secret word in the quality is the continuous improvement. So we recognize the need, we diagnose the culture, we determine. After that, we will start communicating modeling, conducting appropriate training, reinforcing, and repeated, and repeated, and repeated many times, each year, each time, by having feedback, asking what's working, what doesn't, how to improve, and recognition of success, recognition of a good work, and storytelling of the heroes, and for some extraordinary performance of the employees. This is how we can develop a healthy and quality organizational culture. Equality, you will see, hear, and feel equality everywhere. This is the quality culture. We can say it is, you are collecting data, analyzing the data, improve the data, and control it. Some people say that organizational culture is like a garden. The garden needs continuous monitoring, their intentional reinforcement, and adaptive change. If I choose one thing or a core value or for a quality culture, in my opinion, the most important, maybe yours is different, is the fact-based problem solving and decision making. This is, in my opinion, the key or the cornerstone. Of course, customer communication, engagement, this is ultimately. But if we don't have a fact-based problem solving and decision making, it's not quality. In conclusion, organizations don't adapt to change, but people do. If we want to have a sustainable change, we have to change employees' mindset. Lasting success lies in changing individual first, then the organization will follow. And it's important collective change for all employees. To improve quality in any initiative to improve quality is unlikely to succeed unless it's embedded and reflected by the organizational culture. Thank you very much, and we are welcoming your opinion, ideas.